Yes, we are back outside, y'all. Okay, so good morning, good evening. What to do? How are you? Who do you? Happy Tuesday too. I am the sound of money in your ear, dollar Avant. That's still double O. I'm often imitated, never duplicated. They call me the $1 billion Babe, aka the Pitch Queen, aka the People's Coach, aka Coach Dollar Bill. And you are in the dollhouse. This is the home of high value entrepreneurs. And y'all, over here, it is day 34. Day 34. It's been 34 days in this year already of this 100-day challenge. What if you gave 100% of your best effort 100% of the time for 100 days? How would your life get different? What if you listened to intuition and really tapped in and really locked in 100% of the time for 100 days? I think we can get some things done. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. I believe in y'all. We're brilliant. The ancestors came too far. Grandmothers and grandfathers have done too much, come too far to fall apart now as a people, as a unit. Um, so I sit in the seat of the ancestors. I sit as somebody who's mentored by billionaires. This all this information and this knowledge is not just for me. It's not just for me. We about to rise as a unit, as a people. We're going to be a mosaic, a quilt, a community where people are winning. I'm telling you that I want to normalize $10,000 months, $50,000 months, $100,000 months, $1 million annual revenue in your business. Because this is math. This is just math. This is, can you help people? Yes, I can. If we can define that transformation that you provide and learn how to find and talk to humans and then build systems that help us to do that at scale, there is no limitation to how much money we're making. Okay. So the first 33 days, were literally a third of the way through this 100-day challenge, was really me digging in the dirt with you guys. We're going in, we're doing a lot of this internal work and the limiting beliefs that we have, and all the stuff that that's we can't do, and we get a bill and we freaking out and all this kind of stuff, and it's like, nope, we got to rise, we got to take responsibility. It comes from within, you know what I'm saying? It comes from within. So I think I've done a great job of breaking up some of that old programming and just bringing us back to present and back to center. We talked about clarity a lot yesterday, the day before. We need this clarity. It's the key. It's the secret sauce. Because if I ask you, okay, what's your business? And then you start kind of rambling and no, no, it's too vague. It needs to be laser focused so we can move at the speed of money and get there. So I'm going to prove that to you today. And I'm going to give you some very, very practical things. I'm actually probably going to get to it. I'm going to show you kind of what, and I'm still talking about between steps 1 and 5 on the roadmap. I really don't teach the advanced stuff because I want to get my people past the $10,000, 30, 40, $50,000, $100,000 months. Okay. And then we can move from there. But if you've heard me say this before, there's a triangle on the roadmap. There is a, like the Bermuda Triangle, for lack of a better way to say that, where people literally fall. They say, oh, 97% of businesses fail and all that. This is where the failing happens. And I'm going to teach you how to get out of that. Where's my roadmap at? Let me see. Teach you how to get out of that today. This is, yes, here we go. This is our roadmap. And somewhere in between here, right here, between step 2, 3, and 4, right up in there, you see they just fall off. It's just this big gaping canyon of a hole, and people just fall into the abyss. That's the Bermuda Triangle. And it's like, oh, how's your business? You meet them 5 years later, it's like, oh yeah, I'm not in business no more. I went back and got a job. Like, it just, I thought you got that loan or that investment, and you don't know what happened, and it's over. Like 97% of businesses fall into this cliff. And so what I'm teaching, and this core part, and I'm gonna try to get to the whole thing today, but this part right here is how you overcome that Grand Canyon gaping hole between steps 2, 3, and 4 on the roadmap. So I hope y'all are in here for the journey. buckled up. If you not buckled up, because we about to get into it, take some notes and do all of the things. And here we go. It's a good day. I'm in a good mood today, so you know. Shout out to Desta. Desta's in the building. Shout out Latrice and also Tracy. I see y'all on the Zoom. And then I can't see who's zooming, but somebody's streaming. So shout out to y'all on said streaming channels and platforms. Appreciate y'all for being here. Let's get into it. Can we get this money? How about we just get some clarity and get this money? Because we can. Let's do it. Y'all ready? Okay, here we go. Okay, we talked, like I said, a lot about clarity, clarity, clarity. That's how we collapse time. It doesn't have to take 15 years and all your savings and, you know, running through everything you got and breaking up your family and people getting mad at you and we getting divorced and all type of stuff. We don't have to go through all of that to make some money. We could be okay out here, but we got to have clarity. You're not stuck because you don't have money. You need money. It takes money to make money. No, you're stuck because you don't have clarity. Clarity about what it is you provide, what value you're bringing to the marketplace, and you don't have the skill. There's a skill set to communicating that value, getting people to move when you speak, having somewhere for them to go before, during, and after that purchase, that put these little systems in place, let this thing go. There are people making right now, sitting at home on a Substack, typing up and printing up and, you know, sending out very well crafted. I mean, listen, y'all, this is the best time to get rich ever in human history. We have all these tools. These people work for us. The AI, the prompts that I have been given, the tools that we now have access to, much of which is absolutely free. If you can get enough clarity, so you got to feed it. If you don't put it in the AI, it's not coming out. But if you feed it with enough clarity and let it train and learn your voice and your perspective and all of that, it will write your posts for you. It will help you write your content. Like I'm talking about less than an hour a day. Less than an hour a day. You can do all your big five. I mean, you probably take longer than that if you're actually talking to humans and having sales calls. But outside of that, the preparation and the getting some content out and getting it posted, an hour a day. And there are people doing this and they have the thing and then it goes to the lead magnet and it goes to the course and it goes to the, once we get all these pieces set up, it's like printing money. It's an ATM machine. It's like people find it and then they come in there, they get real value. There's clarity. There's no confusion. They know exactly what value you're offering. They're like, yes to this, please. I need some more of this. And then you make it easy. No friction. There's a flow. That's what cash flow is. They go to the next thing. It's like, okay, well, we need to go ahead and do this. We don't have it in the budget, but we're going to have it next semester. Okay, so until then, they should be hearing from you. They should be seeing you everywhere. They should be like telling other people your narrative. They should be continuing to get value, 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 value. So by the time they're ready to make that decision, it's a no-brainer. They're saving money. They're setting aside money to make sure you're in the budget for next quarter, next whatever. That's what we want. But that comes from clarity. We can't be confused, don't know what we're doing and all that. But that starts with you. You got to believe that you're not trapped. You're not stuck. There's no lack. Lack is an illusion. It's not real. And the minute we shift our beliefs, reset our identity, now we can tap into abundance and go ahead and get the money and go head on. We could be at the island. Y'all, we're supposed to be doing this on the island. Okay, so we can't allow all of that low frequency thinking to rob us of our greatness. It's like we're brilliant, right? We have all this genius, right? It's like a vault of a treasure that's yours. But we let all this false programming and what somebody's telling you what you can't do and all this kind of stuff, we let all of that still come in and rob us of all of our greatness. And it's time to take our power back. It's time to take it back. Okay. Your bank account should match your brilliance. I mean, it can't, but you know what I'm saying? It should be a lot. It shouldn't be these big gaps. Okay. We're brilliant. We got big dreams, got big ideas. The bank account can't be looking like some of these bank accounts are looking right now. That gap between your brilliance and your bank account is not because you're not smart enough. It's not because you're not working hard. It's the clarity. You got to get to clarity. Clarity leads to confidence. That confidence is going to allow you to be present in the moment. There's an ease. I talked about that yesterday, the day before. Wealthy people have an ease. They walk through the world. They're not concerned. They're not concerned. What are we talking about? And when you have presence, you're able to make a connection. And connection is the birthplace of all currency. So all of this goes back to us having clarity about whatever it is that we're actually providing in the marketplace. That's how you move at the speed of money. Okay. So clarity leads to confidence. Confidence leads to connection. And connection is the birthplace of all currency. And that's where that cash flow comes in. So that's like a complete circuit, like an electrical circuit. That's how it works. That's how it goes from an idea, and it's like ding, clarity. That's a light word, like the light bulb that comes on in the cartoon. You had the spark of an idea, but you got to take it all the way through the process. You got to complete the circuit if you want the light to come on. You want the cash to flow. Okay, so it's 5 stages in this Bermuda Triangle. Now it's 5 stages that entrepreneurs are going through to get you from I'm not making no money, I don't know what I'm doing, to like really you should, like I said, we're normalizing $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 months in this group. There's no reason why everybody on this phone can't make $500,000 or $1 million a year. There's absolutely no reason why not. But it starts with our belief. So I've done 34 days, 33 days of getting your beliefs realigned with the frequency of abundance. But then we're going to talk about how to really tap practically to make sure you have clarity in the key parts of your business and your messaging and how you're showing up so that you can unlock this flow and start moving. Okay. It's February. It's Black History. Let's make history. Let's do it. Okay. So first thing is important. It's important. Let me see if I can share my screen effectively because y'all need to hear this. I don't know who. Hey, Brittany on YouTube. Shout out to y'all over here. Let me see. I'm sharing my screen. I am giving you another scene where my window. There we go. Here we go. I'm starting with the stream people first, and then I'll get it on the Zoom. This is all coming together. It's going to come together. Let me see. Share screen. There we go. Okay, y'all can see that? I think so. All right. Not a presentation? Yes, I have a presentation. All right. These are the 5 steps, 5 stages, if you will. Now, remember, we got a whole roadmap. I'm not talking about that. I have zoomed in to between step 2 and step 4, with step 5 on the entrepreneur's roadmap. And there's a Bermuda Triangle where everybody falls off. And I'm showing you how to get back up again in this document. Okay. So 5 stages. Okay. You're not behind. You're in a stage, the foundation stage. I hope you did that before you found me. Some of you guys have done it. Some of you haven't. This is where we get awareness about the marketplace. Like I said, is I have to teach totally differently when I'm teaching kids because they don't have an awareness of like just how the world moves, how markets move, and how business works and basic stuff. So a lot of you guys have had careers and things like that. So you probably have some level of commercial awareness, right? But you also have to have self-awareness. And that's why I spend so much time talking about neuroscience and physics and all of this, because if you don't understand how your human technology works and you don't understand how what's happening in the mind of your listener when you're trying to go and sell something, you'll keep making rookie mistakes that you don't have to. It's like, okay, this is how the system works. So when I show up like this, I'm going to get this result. When I speak in stories, people will move. All purchasing decisions are emotional decisions. So you'll stop talking like an engineer and a technical inventor and stop rambling and going on and on about something that nobody's listening to. And you'll start showing up speaking in elevated language. You can use tools like AI to help you get there now that you know that that's what you need to be focused on. and then you'll speed up. You know what I'm saying? We got to get to the speed of money. Money has a speed. You know how you get on the freeway, it's like you can't be driving slow. You're going to get hit. It's a problem. You cause chaos. Hey, we got to speed up. So moving at the speed of money requires you to be aware of kind of how markets work. So all the little reading and we want to watch YouTube stuff. Okay, that's what that's for. But you, through your career and all that, you should have gotten to that point. Then you have to have some level of self-awareness so that you understand who you are, what makes you tick, your worldview. When I ask you your worldview, you should be able to answer me. Like, what are we even about here? Like, what is the window? What's our starting point for all of this energy that we're about to create? And then you need some type of resources. It not necessarily got a bunch of savings, but you need to be in a position where you know how to go get a little money here and there. If you got an Uber, you got to hustle, you got, if you're drawing from savings, if you have a spouse that's supporting you while you're starting this thing, you got to be able to have some access to some resource somewhere, like $100 a year. You got to pay for the little stuff and still be able to eat while we get the foundation laid. So that's this part. And unfortunately, people just kind of try to jump over this and jump out into business and wonder why it's not working. And no, we can't do that. So forget the time frames on the other side, because like I said, hopefully your whole life has got you to this point. Okay. So that's also, you can speed up in this part, particularly on the self-awareness and understanding some things. You might have some gaps in your understanding. That's why you need a coach, because really quickly we can get through this part and be like, okay, this is what it is. This is how it goes. Go study this, go read this. So it's not like the whole internet, like, well, where do I start? Like, I can laser you in on exactly what you need to be paying attention to. There's certain models, there's certain skills that we all need. It's called entrepreneurial literacy. And in 2026, there's certain things that we all should have some level of exposure to. And, a coach or somebody who's been where you're trying to go can help you with that. So that's stage one. If you work for somebody, especially if you work for a startup, but you got some basic skills, got some basic something going on. Okay, cool. Then we move to the next stage. That's where, again, a lot of you hopefully have already done this, or maybe some version of this has been happening in because it's basically hustle energy. You know how I keep saying we're not building a hustle. We got to develop habits so we can have a system, a business that's self-sustaining. Well, what I found is that people just keep hustling for 5 years and then they call it a business. And that's why it's a struggle. And that's why you get burned out. That's why you feel overwhelmed. That's why, all of that. So we don't have time. So hopefully some of you guys have been in business. Maybe you left your job a while ago, or maybe you have kept your job and you have a side hustle or whatever's going on. But this is why I do 100-day challenges. We getting in, we getting out. But we can't have our ego attached to anything at this stage in the game, because we don't know. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what people are going to respond to. You don't know. I have people who literally was here and argue with me. Oh, well, I haven't spent $2,000 on the website. Well, why did you do that? I don't know why you did that. Because you don't even know what language to put on the website. You don't know what people responded to or not. Like, this is not the time. This is not the time. We skip steps on the roadmap. That's step 8. So in this part, when you just first get in motion, I just need you out here. Like, this is what I believe. It's a hypothesis. You're saying, I believe, based on what my worldview and what I'm bringing and my little experience up to this point, I think this right here will be a good business. I think that, I'm going to offer this, I'm going to offer that. Based on a very clear, well-defined worldview. Unfortunately, I'm still having people, it's getting better. I need y'all to be able to tell me your worldview. What do you believe about the world that has now led you to the starting point of creating a business that you're going to spend all this time and effort to create, and provide this product, service, or solution? It's got to be, you got to start with why. What is it that you believe about the world? So me, y'all already know why we're in the dollhouse, why we do this work, all of that is because I know that everybody on this phone is brilliant. I'm talking about geniuses. I believe that the answers to all the problems that we face in the world right now, the reason why we got problems out here is because these people are challenged. Let me just say that, emotionally, mentally challenged. But they happen to have billions and billions of dollars, and they have nothing else to do but destroy democracy. Okay. They said, we think it'll be better. They said, one of these people, I'm not making this up. I got to go on Substack. They said, bring back lynching. Basically, public hangings. He said, that's what we need. Like, but these are the people in charge. These are the people funding what's going on in the administration. So anyway, less of those people should be out here just with free time and free money. It should be more people like us, people with a heart. You know, you want to help somebody, y'all want to change your communities. Like, we have all this beautiful energy. But our bank accounts do not match our brilliance. And dare I say, because we came from corporate, because we've been we like super duper educated. We got degrees on degrees on degrees. We're just outside, or we just got a lot of talent, a lot of access, a lot of people, a lot of experience, a lot of creativity, whatever that is. But it's locked up on the inside of us. Somehow we got to the point of overthinking. We feel like everything has to be just so before we step out and do anything. And I told you guys the other day, rich people trust their vision and they doubt their fears. Poor people trust their fears and doubt their vision. So rich people will just have an idea and just get in motion, because they'll be like, well, I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It's fine. I'll call somebody. I don't know something. I'll call somebody. Oh, I know. I have a friend over here. I got a friend over here. Just call. Ask Bob. They'll call somebody who's been where they're trying to go. They figure it out. They move. And when I say poor, I'm not talking about your bank account. It's a mentality. Poor people will sit at the house and look at TV and look at videos and write in the journal and go to church and confess and believe and tell everybody, I got a vision. I know I got a call, and God told me that, all of this, but we don't do anything. And so my job, I believe, like I said, the problems that we face in the world, the answers are locked on the inside of brilliant people just like us, that look like us, who are trapped in a system, capitalism, that wasn't built for us. It was built on us. And so nobody's doing this work. Nobody's having conversations. Even the entrepreneurship programs that are built, they are built starting you at step 6 on the roadmap. It's not likely that you're going to do well, because this is not a logical, methodical, linear process. Entrepreneurship is a spiritual act. It's birthing something from nothing. Okay, you're a creator. You're doing the thing. You're taking it out of the unseen into the seen. So if we want to do that, we got to master our human interface. This is a technology between unseen and the seen. So what if somebody who understood business, who's done business at the highest levels, not just making it up, not just something I read and saw on TV, but I've lived this stuff. Okay. And I understand the experience of what it means. Because people with money don't understand why we don't move. They don't. They think, oh, well, they just must not want anything. Like, they can't conceive of living in a world where all these limitations have been imposed on us, like from birth, like for centuries. You know what I mean? And so they're just like, well, they had free opportunity. They had the chance to do it. I mean, if they don't want to do it, then it's just on them. They don't want it. They're lazy. Like, this is where this narrative comes from. So what if you could combine somebody who understood our experience? Dr. King told Harry Belafonte the week before he died, he said, oh, I fear that I have integrated my people into a burning house. He said, we out here marching so we can get in there, but it's not for us. What if we could take both world views and create a space where we could unlock the programming, master this system of capitalism, and still maintain our humanity? That's what I'm building here in the dollhouse. Okay. And I'm saying, based on my worldview, right? Now I've been running plays. I've been doing all this organic stuff, all this teaching, running around and seeing what people respond to. So I need you to get through a successful experimentation phase where you actually come back with some data. Okay. You don't have to build the whole business. It's not the time to be automating things, because we don't know enough yet. So 100-day sprints seem to work. So that's why it's 100 days, but not too much longer than that, because you don't want to get your ego involved. You don't want to get attached to something before it's actually built out. I mean, proven out by a feedback loop. Okay. So we're collecting user feedback during this time. Phase 3, we're still between steps 2, 3, 4 on the roadmap, y'all, but this is how it goes. Now we really get into the chaos of it. And again, ignore these time metrics on the side, but the revenue benchmarks are good. I believe I'll be able to get some of you guys up through this phase in this 100-day challenge. But knowing your concept, Identifying your humans, being very clear on who you're actually talking to, coming up with an arrangement that makes sense for both of you. That's your offer. Having a system where you're purposely, intentionally reaching out to humans and inviting them into what you're building for them, and then making sure that is automated. Along with that, I'm asking you guys to, at minimum, like if you're B2B, at minimum, you need to be talking to 30 people and actually getting a meeting on the books. But most of us need to be doing 50 to 100, up to 150. And that's also mathematicals based on the bell curve. So if I do 30 meetings and I'm just doing the Afro method, I'm not trying to sell them anything. I really want that clarity and that feedback. But if, some of those conversations go and they're like, yeah, well, I would love, sign me up, and you do 30 meetings and you get 3 sales. Now we got a data point. After anything below 30 is not statistically significant. But now it's a data point. It's a bell curve. It's like, wait a minute. So I could, with 65% accuracy, I can predict that every time I do 30 sales, I'm probably going to make, 30 sales calls, I'm going to make about 3 sales. Now we got a business, because those relationships, those conversations, now we could put numbers around it. A business is just relationships with numbers. Now we could put numbers around it and start to predict. Okay, so I just need more people to come in the thing. What thing? You got to build the thing. But to meet me, to hear me, to see me speak, to see a piece of content or something, and then invite them into this bigger conversation. And if I could just hit 30, I know every time I hit 30, I'm going to make 3 times whatever your price point is. Now you know how much money you're going to make. And if you hit those targets, now we're replacing salaries. One of my testimonials that we sent to the folks over at that you guys helped me with, somebody said that. They were like, yeah, I've been doing this about a year. I've been leaning in the house, and I just replaced all my corporate income. And of course, she's 6 figures when she left corporate. And I'm like, yeah, now now we can track. We know how much money we're going to make. So now we can hit the next milestone. And then the next one. Okay. So in the experimentation phase, when I keep saying talk to 50 humans and make sure you document everything, this is not like, oh my God, like you don't have no data. How are you going to have confidence and you don't have no data? That's how you develop skill. It's the cadence, and to do it again and talk to actual humans who have the similar profile, so you can see what parts of your system are working and not. If you do have a team, you don't really need a team anymore because AI. So ignore that as well. But we don't need fancy tools. We're not paying a whole bunch of money for our stuff. It should be less than $100 to run your business right now. And I'm saying like email. Okay, you might be paying for a website, but you don't have to. And like a couple other tools here and there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you pay for the upgraded, GPT of your choice, $20 a month, something like that. But you shouldn't be spending thousands and thousands of dollars on or even hundreds and hundreds of dollars on your business at this point. Okay, we just need the clarity. We need to talk to humans, be outside. Okay. And get through this chaos, because if you stay here now, it's going to feel like chaos. Oh, I'm all over the place. I don't know what to do, because you're not treating it like an experiment. You lean in, run the play, come back, watch the game film. You huddle up, practice scrimmage every day. That's your big 5. Then you go out, talk to people, and publish, content based on those conversations and those learnings and those findings, and then document it all. Then come back, watch the game film, do it again. Like that's it. So most of us don't successfully do this. But if you do and treat it like a spreadsheet, like, okay, that one was good. That one was okay. This one was cool. All right. Because if somebody says no, if somebody's like, oh, I'm not interested, or, oh, that's not for me, they work for you. So the job is not for everybody to say yes to you. The job is for them to give you some free consulting. It's just, so tell me more about that. Like, what would you like to see differently? What have you tried in the past? Like, what, You want them to tell you what they like or don't like. That's all we're doing here. So anyway, then we move to the next phase. Momentum phase. All right. We're starting to turn this thing into an engine. If you had a team, but you can do this with AI agents as well. But you need somebody to be the face of the brand, somebody who's the voice and the face of this legal entity. The government calls it that. I didn't call it that. Okay. So where is this messaging coming from, and doing all of that? Systems, these can be done with systems. You can run a one-person business. You don't have to have a team. Okay. Depending on what product it is you you're selling. Okay. Something that is bringing new people into this system that we're building that's turning into sales conversations and sales, making sure that we could deliver the product, service, or solution, and and no kinks in that. People are getting the service or whatever they ask for, and back in admin operations and tracking everything and making sure you shouldn't be getting tricked up by tax bills and stuff like that. Okay. You could be making anywhere from $10,000 to $40,000 a month at this point in the game, and you should have tiered products, which we're going to talk about. So something that's cheap or free early in the game, away from them to kind of come into your world, which is different from your signature offer, which might be more expensive. Okay. And something which I'm trying to make y'all do this big five, but something that you're doing every day, every week, every day, every week, that's giving you a rhythm in your business. A rhythm, like an engine in a car, it runs based on rhythm. If the rhythm is off, if the pistons stop firing, like we got a problem. It doesn't work. So you gotta have something that you're doing consistently, and we keep what's working and ignore the rest. It's noise. Okay, it don't have to take you 12, 24 months to do this, but that's a range. Okay, but now your systems, your repeatable and your tools, your automation and stuff like that, doing a lot of the heavy lifting at this point. You should not be feeling burned out. And then when we get into $1 million businesses, which I'm still on, y'all gonna hit these numbers, okay? You might have a big team, but you don't have to, because there's tools for that. You got to develop some skills though to know how to do that, everything. But your week should be repeatable. And think about this: the big message when you think about, okay, I don't know what to post, that means you don't have enough clarity. That means you're trying to skip steps. That means you're too far down the rabbit hole. But you can get to this point where it just works. It just works. Now you can go to the island. We on step 5 of the roadmap. This is an asset. It's not a job. Okay. So those are the phases. Any comments, questions, concerns, challenges, feedback, and personal story time before I move on?
So are we going to get access to these phases? I'm running around right now, but I'm listening.
Oh, yes. Yes, you will. I will share. Actually, I think I could share this link. But yes. Absolutely. Any other comments, questions, concerns, challenges, feedback, or personal story time before we move on? Let's see. Okay. We're moving on. I wish somebody had broke this down when I started my business. Didn't nobody tell me nothing, child. I was just outside. Which shows, like, again, I don't like the fact that you have to be extremely talented off the charts to win out here, because nobody's laying, here's the playbook. Like, here we go. This is what you need to do. And I learned that by osmosis, just because I was fortunate enough to have mentors who were out here playing the game at a high level. And I learned from them. I shadowed them. So now I'm bringing it back to you. Okay. So you're not behind, none of that. You're just in a certain stage. So once you understand where you're at, you can make some moves and make some adjustments and then go to the next stage. As a college freshman, you shouldn't be comparing yourself to somebody who got a PhD. Like, no, doesn't make sense. You're just in a stage, in a phase. So once you feel like, I'm starting this business, I'm ready to go, I'm clear on what it is that I'm bringing to the world or how I want to start showing up, boom. That's your foundation. And a lot of that work we do here in the dollhouse as well. So you're in the right place. At stage number 2, you have the experimentation, where it's like your first play. Some people in the dollhouse are doing the thing where they're just like making slide decks and making tools and PDFs and doing all types of logo branding things, but they're not selling anything. They're not asking anybody, inviting them, do they want to take a step in action or buy something from them? So if we're not running these experiments, your business isn't growing because we don't have any information. There's no feedback loop to know, okay, this works, this doesn't. People like this, they didn't like that. We need information. We're not just waiting on the world to change. We're not waiting on, whoever, Damon John, or somebody to meet me in the elevator and say, oh my God, you're so smart. Like, no, we're not 12. We don't need external validation. We're going out here, finding a human based on our hypothesis. There are people in this world who have this problem. Now, let me go find those people and verify. Let me verify that my instincts were correct. Oh, actually, it's this. Oh, actually, they see it like that. Oh, actually, I'm too far down the road. They need a solution for this. You need to find that out, and that experimentation phase will tell you that. So I need y'all talking to humans. I hope we're doing that. Okay. No ego, none of that. We're just outside, and we're testing our core systems, which is our daily big five. That's what I can do. I'll put that presentation into our document that we're working on together during this 100-day challenge. So that way it'll be on there. The resource guide. Let me make sure. Where is that? Okay. This is important to me that you guys have what you need, so that's why I take the time to do this. Because as soon as I get off, I got a whole nother hat. I'm back to saving the world's water half the time, and so I don't want you guys to be waiting on resources. So let me put this here. All right, there you go. Got the link coming to you now. Thank y'all for your patience. Okay. What is it doing? Hold on. Copy. All right, there we go. So you can find where you are and also be, inspired to go to the next level. Like, you don't have to be stuck, you know what I'm saying? There's always a pathway forward, no matter where you are on this journey. And that's my job, is to help make sure that you feel that, and you're not stuck. You're never stuck. And you're not late, you're not behind, you're right on time. You're right on time. Okay. So bam, you have access now. Okay, so if we are strong enough internally, we have enough self-awareness, then we won't flounder and drown and fall into the Bermuda Triangle of the chaos phase. Okay, the chaos phase is where we're trying to find a fit between what you thought is a game of concentration, right? So they say product market fit it's a game of concentration. What you thought, your worldview, your hypothesis. You said this, I think this is what it should be, your concept. Okay, get it in some format. Then you got to come out here and talk to humans. I'm just spelling the word chaos, y'all. CHAOS. You come out here and talk to humans to see if what you thought in your hypothesis is in alignment with what they're asking for. Now, there's some key questions that you need to be asking as you get out here and talking to humans and doing all that, putting people in your circle of trust and all that kind of stuff, which is part of your stuff you're supposed to be doing every day. Here's some questions you need to be able to answer clearly. Who finds value in this that you're offering? What are they willing to pay? How do they describe themselves? Not how you describe them. How do they describe themselves? Like, what kind of person? I'm a single mom. I'm a, how do they define themselves? How do they describe the results that they're looking to achieve? Now, I'll give you a great example. Brittany is a good example. She offers a full suite of services and massage, and they go into the workplace and create, this wellness experience. The hiring manager or even the employees, they're not waking up in the morning. Oh, thank you so much. I'm excited about this. They're not waking up in the morning saying, I wish I could have a massage at work today. Although once they experience her demo day, they are. But that's not what they wake up in the morning saying. Nor are, and her worldview now is that if we could regulate the nervous systems, the whole world would be turned right side up, because she understands the science behind it. But they're not waking up in the morning saying, I need somebody to regulate my nervous system. Right? So the skill is, and it's really not that deep. All we got to do is listen to humans. What they come saying is, I don't know, but something about how stressful it is, or how, the workplace is toxic, or they wish they could just decompress, or whatever language they are using. And she had that realization, whatever language they're using is what should be in our marketing material. So what are they trying to get? What results are they trying to achieve? We adopt that language. How do they describe themselves? We adopt that language. And then your product, service, solution, water quality testing, monitoring, they didn't wake up asking for that. But that's the solution that I will introduce to them once they know that I understand their worldview and what they're looking for. Does that make sense? They have to match. So we want to ask the questions. How do they describe themselves? How do they describe the results they're trying to achieve? What best describes the biggest challenges that they've experienced while trying to get that result? What else have they tried? And what price points best fit their budget for this? What are they willing to pay to get this problem solved? I need you guys to have clarity on that. Like, you should be an expert in that for your customer target people, your humans, okay? How many of you on a scale of 1 to 5 feel like you have that level of clarity? 5 being, I know exactly the answer. I could take a pop quiz and a final exam, and I could do a TED Talk telling you the answers to these questions. And 1 being, child, I don't know, I'm just trying to make some money. Put a 1 if you don't know at all, and put a 5 if you're like fully, I'm all the way live. I know exactly what my audience needs and what they want and how they discuss and talk about the work.
I put a 5 just because I'm pretty clear on what the business owners are needing, because I've talked to so many.
Mm-hmm.
So I did put a 5.
That's good.
But I was answering as you were asking us the questions. And I'm like, yep, I know the answer. Yep, I know the answer. And then I'm fleshing out more of what my packages are going to be offering, because I need more of the aspect that is not me. It's a pamphlet that you can download. Like, so right now I'm working on creating a template that people, business owners, nonprofits, I'm making one for each of them. So specifically for nonprofits, specifically for a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be creating copy. So like content, a lot of business owners have, they don't have the time to make content, or they don't have a content person. and they don't know what to put on their about page or, homepage or, what goes here. So I'm going to create some kind of layout or prompts. I'm going to do some prompts and say, fill in the blanks kind of thing.
Brilliant.
And then they can download that, if they are needing somewhere to start. A lot of people don't know where to start is what I'm finding. And the people that do have the websites, they are just frustrated that they don't have a reliable support. They don't, they can't rely on the person that built the website because they don't get called back and stuff like that. And these are busy people. They don't have time to be worrying about their website.
That's brilliant. You are on point.
So
you're on point.
So that's where I'm headed with it.
That's brilliant.
Is my plan right now.
Love that. I see a 4. I'm not seeing some more numbers. I see a 4 in the chat. That's good. We're on the way. This is the clarity. When I say clarity, this is what I'm talking about. I know exactly who I'm talking to. I know exactly what they want. I know how they see the world, what they're thinking, what problems they are facing, what they've tried before, what challenges they're facing, what outcome do they see as success? How do they define it? And you're able to parrot that language and incorporate it into your work and let it inform this experience that you're building for people. Go ahead, Tracy.
Definitely for me, I feel like I have to get better at reading the room. And on the other hand, I'm really good at that, yet I always have this one-track mind. One thing I will say is most people don't want yoga. Even if they want it without the yoga. A lot of people think yoga is connected to religion, so they don't want that part of it. But I know people, they're at a place where what they're doing, they know it's not working, and they want to have more peace. And I think even the walk for the monks, people chasing the monks, says a lot about, okay, I don't know what this is, but if it's for peace, I want some of that. Let me get closer to that. And people want to work out. People want to look younger. People want to be de-stressed. And when they think about mindfulness practices, they think of self-care. Let me do something for me. People are wanting help with being okay with who they are. I think that's one of the things I feel like when people are talking to me, oh yeah, I need this, and this is what I need in my life. And I don't know if they have a name for it, but I know that the words I'm using, the technical words, even the word yoga, is not necessarily. Pilates is a beautiful term. It's not connected to religion. It's nothing. And people like Pilates because they get an understanding. Ooh, I'm going to get this out of Pilates, even though they're very connected, yoga and Pilates. So I think I need to meet people where they are, because honestly, I really don't care the words they use, because I know where the destination is.
Exactly.
And I know we're going to get there. Yeah. So that's, I think I need to release that. I do need to release that feeling of, I am teaching yoga. That's the truth. I am teaching yoga and I'm very fond of yoga, but I have to understand that if I want them to come in the door and put their foot under the table, I got to make them feel comfortable too.
Right. The only reason why I say this work that I do sits at the intersection of neuroscience and quantum physics and psychology and history and all of this. The only reason I say these things out loud is because I know that my people are brilliant. Y'all like to learn. Y'all are geniuses. Y'all would sit and listen to some information. We are visionary scientists in this group. I know that. If I was talking to a different type of entrepreneurial audience, I would never use those words. I say it because I know that your brain is like, ooh, now I'm learning something. Hold on. You're like, wait a minute. Now I'm finna snap. Let me see. Because I know my community. We are geniuses over here. Okay, we outside with it for real. And it's just like, and that's our conflict. It's like, I'm too smart. I'm seeing these people out here. I know they ain't smarter than what I got going. I know good and well. I mean, yet they making hundreds of thousands of dollars and going on vacation in Dubai on the thing on social media. And you're like, what's going on? What's going on? What's up with my bank account? What's up with this? Hey. And that's where I meet y'all, right there. So yes, whatever your audience is responding to, that's what you do. And nothing else. Nothing else. It's not about you. It's not about your preferences. It's finding theirs and creating a space where everything they do, everything they experience is like reflecting back to them. And it's like, yes, I'm supposed to be here. Yes, they get me. Like, yes, like it's a meeting of the minds, you and your audience. It's a relationship. And then you just put numbers around it, and that's what a business is. So yes, let those things go. Anything that's not serving your audience, you don't need it. You can have it in your mind, but and your investors might want to hear some technical language when you're down the road getting ready to sell. That's the only time I've ever spoken about Aquagenuity and talked about the algorithm and all of the stuff that we built. Ever. Is in not with the investor when they were ready to invest. When I had to go through due diligence, the people that they've hired, whose job it is, make sure that they're not getting, in trouble, don't lose their job. That's the only time I ever talk about the technical blah, because that's not what people care about. So you got to talk in their language. So now that you guys are doing that, as you start talking to people and you're like, I'm pretty clear, I see a pattern, you start to see patterns. So now you could predict with accuracy. So if you do 30, 50, you do 75, 90, you get 100 or more interactions with people. Now you could predict up to 90, 95% accuracy what people are going to say. What kind of people are going to respond well to what you got versus, I'm not interested. It starts to become like just a numbers game, which is a beautiful thing that puts you in control. So once you know what that is, just like Micaiah was saying, now it goes from these one-on-one conversations. Now let me, 9 out of the 10 people that I talk to are all struggling with the same thing. Let's make a tool for that. Let's make a webinar or a very engaging discovery call process where I can help them with that. Just that one thing, one problem that you can solve. Let me host a workshop for that. Maybe think of your sales calls. Some of you guys don't need to be doing one-on-one like you are. Some of you can host an event, like a Zoom, like a virtual thing, and have 5 or 10 people at the time where you coach them through like one little aspect, or you demonstrate just one little thing. And then, but using the Afro method, right? And so that it turns into, for some of them, if they're interested in more, it turns into an opportunity for them to work with you. So you could just bring more people into the energy. So having tools and videos and PDFs, hosting events, if you're intentional about it. You could do dinner parties. I plan to do a series of dinner parties later this year. I was going to do last year. It's going to be epic. A book club, like anything where people are just experiencing your thought leadership and you're demonstrating that you have competence. You are able to solve this problem. Like I said, you can do that in a discovery call if you're skilled enough to get people to jump on the call. But treat it like an experience, a way that you are systematizing or digitizing what you do one-on-one. So now you can have one tool and send everybody to that tool. One experience, send everybody to that kind of thing. Does that make sense? That's how people get, I always go back to my entertainers and athletes, because it's energetic. Is the reason why those are the Black people that got money for real. It's because the system was designed for them to do this work that I'm telling us to do. It wasn't designed for us to do it in some of these other fields. But in this field, they get to show up, be great. Show up, just there at the mall. Show up, they're over here. They're at the playground. Da, da, da. Then the system gets involved. Boop, and now they put them, what do? Every Thursday at 8 o'clock, it's the Cosby Show. So she was already a fabulous actress before, but now everybody knows where to find her. At the same time, everybody come to, and they get another experience. So now the whole world knows something that before only the people that had met her one-to-one know. So when you create an experience or I don't use the word funnel, but you know what I'm saying? Like a document, you post it on LinkedIn and it's like, da, 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 da. By the way, most of my clients are experiencing this. If this describes you, I got a free tool. It's going to help you. It's going to be so impactful. And then they get it and it's so impactful and they save it, they bookmark it, they go back and use it every week and da, 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 da. And it's like, oh, by the way, you can catch me every, whatever I'm doing, a class, whatever. They're in your energy now. And so out of 130 people, 2-3 of them going to become clients. Depending on your price point, you don't need that many. It's a machine now. It's just going. So that's really critical that we spend that much time with humans to really define what it is they need, how they think about the world, and make sure our language is reflecting that. So hopefully you guys are doing that and documenting it and being intentional about it. Then our offer. You should be able to stand on what it is you're offering and at what price. You should have had enough conversations to start to verify. If you're not charging enough, raise price. Some of y'all do need to raise your price. Okay. Then that outreach system, the version of it where you're intentionally making sure that you're talking to a physical human, 5 or however many, trying to hit 10, 15, 20, 30 a week out of your circle of trust, circle of 50. Then getting good at digitizing that experience so that it becomes automated. Like, again, LinkedIn is a huge opportunity right now. YouTube still can be outside. Substack, massive opportunity right now. I got the whole Substack system downloaded yesterday from my coach. And I was just like, you know what? I don't even know how to share this with my community. It's so much good information. It's so good, but I be feeling like I'm overwhelming y'all. I do. But from beginning to end, from A to Z, complete breakdown of how to win on Substack. But like articles, tools, recipes, guides, simple things that everybody is going to need that's on that journey, that's walking on that journey with you. Make sure that it exists somewhere outside of your brain. We're trying to turn this into an asset. This is not when I work, it's working. When I stop working, it stops. No, we want things that live while we sleep and at the beach. So start thinking about how you can put your thought leadership out and make it something that people can experience going one to many instead of just one to one. And then turning that into a series of steps where they're coming back towards your offer. That's your sales process. And that can be digitized, and then systems to manage that and make sure it's happening repeatably. This is where the clarity has to be. We have to have clarity about each one of those steps before we could talk about scaling. We got to get to clarity. So let me give you some practical ways to get to some clarity here. Okay. Clarity breeds confidence. Confidence is not a feeling. I know a lot of times we talk about being nervous and being anxious and not wanting to do things because, that's not who we've been in the past or whatever. But I want you to think about, reframe that. Confidence is not a feeling. Confidence is actually just data. Like if you guys have been watching, if you watch the required viewing video for the dollhouse, I have a clip in there, Steph Curry shooting a shot. And then turn his whole back. He was not looking, and the ball with it, and the crowd goes crazy. He does that a lot. Other people do too. But the level of confidence comes from the fact that they know what's going to happen. I do this all the time. I stood like this. I turned my wrist like this. I didn't wait like this. I let the ball go, do the thing. What are you talking about? There's a high degree of confidence of what's going to happen. Or like a singer when they hit the stage, we're not concerned. We're not like, I'm not sure. Oh my God, I didn't warm up. I'm not ready. Like we do this. Like I know what it's finna do. You give me a microphone. Okay, cool. Like watch this. Or somebody, how can people drive, like a race car driver They're driving 300 miles an hour. How are they doing that? Because they have so much repetition that they could predict what's going to happen next. That comes from data. So like I said, we're visionary scientists, okay? So if you collect, let's say 30, 50 points of data, you talk to 30, 50 people intentionally, right? Because some of us have been outside, but we weren't necessarily tracking what was being said. But now we're doing it intentionally. That gives you a level of confidence that if I talk to the next 30 people, I know what's going to happen now. Once you get to 150, 150, like, okay, we can predict with 90 to 95% accuracy what's going to happen. So that's like, I don't feel comfortable being on camera. I'm nervous about ... Whatever part of your business is making you feel overwhelmed. I went through that course. That's supposed to take you 2 weeks. I did it in one night, 12 hours. I went through the Substack course because I don't have time, y'all. I got to hit the road next month. I'm going to be leaving the country and going flying around and doing all kind of stuff. I got to hurry up. So as I'm watching the course, I'm seeing some stuff I'd heard before. I'm seeing some stuff I hadn't thought of it that way. I'm thinking some ideas that I've had that I'm, been writing down and like, yeah, I need to do that. Oh, I can connect that with that. Oh, this would be cool with that. And then somewhere in the middle, about halfway through the thing, I started to get that feeling. Y'all know that tight feeling? Like, okay, this is a lot. Like, oh God. Okay, hold on. Like, I see it. I know this is going to work. I know it's what I need to be doing, but oh my God, it's like, it's too much. And right in that moment, this is when the training kicks in, you guys, because old versions of us, y'all know that moment, that feeling. It's like, oh, dude. Oh. And instead of you sitting in the energy and finding it, you'll get up and just go do something else. So the book stays unread, the notes stay unstudied, the videos remain unfinished, the ideas just stay in your notebook, half scribbled down, and we never develop the thing all the way through till it takes root and becomes another pillar, another asset, another brick in this business that we're building. And I want to just survey casually, how many times have we done that? How many times have we had something that it's like, yeah, this is what I know I need, but then we don't do whatever we need to do because we start getting overwhelmed. Okay, sis, that's how I was feeling yesterday. Start getting overwhelmed, right? So what I did was I let the universe cook, right? I let the like I said, I don't just be yelling at y'all. Like, I live like this, right? So I said, okay, hold on. Anytime you feeling something, a negative emotion, there's a light on the dashboard. You need to pay attention. So I was like, hold on. I was like, I'm excited about this. I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. The Substack. This is the direction I'm supposed to be going. So this just means I'm just getting a little bit uncomfortable because it's something outside of, or it's something in addition to what I'm already doing. That's all, which is a little bit of discomfort, which is a good thing. We're stretching past our comfort zone because I said I'm going to get a coach for all this stuff. I'm not just going to say I'm going to be outside. I don't know what I'm doing. I need guardrails. I need somebody to tell me to do it like this so I don't have to spend my energy like trying to figure it out. Like, boom. So I found perfect coach. It literally just came to me. It was like, I said I was getting a coach, bloop, bloop, coach. And it's so well organized. Like, it's everything I needed. I was like, yes. So I said, if I ask for this and I'm here now, I have to rise. It's time for me to rise. So I went and got my favorite beverage of choice, little tea. I'm drinking right now, moonflower tea. Y'all go to moonjug.com. And I pressed my way forward. And past that moment of anxiety, I started having ideas and my brain was it was doing the thing. And I'm like, yes, that's the fun part. That's what it's like, I see it now. They travel down, so I'm writing everything down. I got tools, I've got extensions, I've got prompts, I've got little automated things. I know how to put it on my schedule. I found out about 3 tools I didn't know about that can like schedule all of my stuff in Substack. I didn't know they were automating Substack now. I found so many things that's going to put me at the top 10% of the game in Substack. Out the gate. Because I did not quit. When it gets tight, you don't quit, you rise. Don't quit, you rise. Yes, this is why I talk like I do. Because when we feel that feeling, you got to remember, we got a community. We got each other's back. You're not by yourself. You will hear my voice. So you could just get back. We're reprogramming and we're reinforcing the new version of us, not the old. Because the old version of you can't handle $10,000 a month. The old version of you thinks $100,000 a month is like this astronomical number, and it's not. It's not. It's not. We got to change our beliefs and then change our actions to line up with the new version of us. So we got each other's back. And don't allow yourself to slip back. You got to stay in the present moment. That's your protection. Okay. So once you get that level of confidence, you got a cadence. It's like, okay, I know what I'm doing. So anything that you're resisting that you don't want to do, but you know you need to do, it's going to require you to sit in the energy and not let yourself go back. You can't allow yourself to go back. You got to have some discipline about yourself. Get back in your breathing, get back in your center, tap back into your zone of genius. Do what you got to do, but don't go back. Because over here is where all the money is. Over here is where you're balling out of control. I don't think you understand. For some of you guys have made this kind of money before, you understand. But unless you had crazy expenses or whatever, if you make more than $15,000 a month, like your personal money in your account after taxes or whatever, like I said, short of you have some ridiculous expenses that I don't know why you would do that. Just if you just living like normal, it's already an obscene amount of money. Like you're fine. Like we can do a lot of things, making $15,000 a month. Everything over that is like why these people are showing out. It's a lot. Like there's a lot. Everything that we think of as lack and limitation, they keep us way down here. There is so much more. So don't allow yourself to go back. If you could break out of this, whatever your cap of your salary, maybe I made this much in my job, but I've never done it on my own, whatever that cap is for you. If you can break out of that, like breaking gravity, okay? When a rocket does the thing, if you can break out of that, we don't have no problems. Yeah, we don't have no problems. Okay. So if you're lacking confidence, if you're getting nervous, if you're getting anxiety, whatever, it's because you don't have enough data. You don't have enough reps. You haven't done enough meetings. You haven't done the work. You haven't put in enough hours. Put a bookmark in it. Take a walk, take a break, come back, do it again. Get your notes, get your energy up. You got to get hyped. Like that's why I keep talking about football teams and stuff. There's a reason why they jump around and do all of that. You got to get in the energy. I'm telling you, because your body's gonna be like, "What? Why would we do this?" But your mind, your spirit is like, because we're world champions. We're gonna do the thing because we're gonna be world champions. That's what we do. So you got to keep that mindset and don't let your body break down on you and get you to just fall back to your old identity. Okay, so 30 pieces of content. This man, my other coach, he said, I'm telling y'all to try to do 5-10, reach out to 5 people a day. I'm trying to get y'all to do that. He said, I want you sending 100 DMs or emails every day. I said 100. He was like, did I stutter? We got Alex Hermosi and Gary B is one of our people we see at the stage. They posting 5, 10, 12, 14 pieces of content every day on multiple platforms. And I got people talking about they want to post once a week and stuff like that. I'm not like, okay, it's just a different, I'm not saying I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying that the wealthy people out here are moving differently than everybody else. And if we want to make the switch, it's going to come with a different level of intensity. So it's like, what do you want? Like, are you willing to make 30 pieces of content? Let's say in a week. Let's say in a week. Are you willing to send out 30 DMs in a week? Try to fill up your calendar so you actually have 20 or 30 sales conversations in 1 week. Because the faster you do that, the more data you have, the more confidence you're going to have, the more confidence you're going to make better connections. You're going to have a better level of skill when you're talking to people, and that's going to lead to more cash flow. So the gap between where you are now and the money that you say you want is you. Go ahead, Micaiah. She must have got lost or stuck somewhere. She had her hand up. Okay. So y'all, getting on sales calls, posting content, sending DMs and emails, pitching your offer, speaking publicly, showing your face on camera, not in a scattered way. There's a very specific approach to doing this. But anything that's uncomfortable to you on that list, go do it 30 times and then come back and tell me how you feel about it. It's going to increase your confidence just by the act of doing it. We got Tracy. Go ahead, Tracy.
You just said if it's uncomfortable, do it 30 times. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but that's like a coach at the gym. I was telling her, damn, I do my push-ups, but I'm like, to do my push-ups correctly, I cap out at 5. Like I can't even go past 5, and then I have to just take a break and restart. And I said, but I want to be able to do more. And she was like, then go up to 10. I was like, and I don't know, because she has a voice about her when she speaks, she pushes you. And she's like, if you can't do 5, 10. And I was like, wow, okay. And it just makes sense because it's what you're saying too. Whatever's the hardest, there's not a realization that you need to go back. You need to actually go like harder on the paint, like he said. So I'm feeling that.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is our time, y'all. It's up to us. When I tell you the tools, the things that I was shown, I was like, why is this available? Why is this free? It's literally free. I got 2-3 prompts to go, boop, boop, boop. Take all this brilliance, y'all, all my brilliance. It's a tool. I could take all of this that I've been teaching thousands and thousands of hours and put it all in the thing, because each time they be forgetting what you said. You know, like you trying to train your GPT, but then you reach a limit and then it's okay. And I got to pay when it's still, it's all solved now. It's all solved now. It's all solved now. I was like, where has this been? But I wouldn't have found that had I stopped. It's exciting. It's exciting to me. I'll share it with you, Claire. So, okay. I hope that this does not apply to anybody here, because most of you guys have been consistent in all of that. Most people pick a business idea based on what they think is going to make some money. Like everybody's doing coaching, I'm just coaching. Everybody's doing this, I'm gonna do that. Everybody doing something with AI, here we go. Everybody doing, I saw somebody made $100,000 with this, so let me go do that. Like, hold on, that's not what we're doing. We got to pick the opportunity, not based on what's trendy. Okay, it's actually your starting point is in your story. Okay, because the only thing that's going to be sustainable over the long term is something, they say product market fit. You also have to have founder opportunity fit. Okay, it has to be, because otherwise it's not sustainable. It's not going to work. So the best way to identify what that is solving a problem, building a business around a problem that you've already solved before, problems that you are uniquely positioned to solve. teaching something you've already done, helping people with something that you've already experienced, or whatever that is, okay? Because that gives you a case study. You have your own story. You have other people that you've already worked with. That gives you credibility. And you've already done it. And, you have the reps. So you're going to have enough confidence to stay in there and keep doing what you need to do. And then your clarity is going to flow from that. Your clarity is going to flow from that. So what is your worldview? What problem do people already come to you for? All of those questions I keep asking you, can you answer them? Then, okay, who are these people? How do they describe themselves? What do they want to achieve? What have they tried before? What are their biggest challenges? Can you answer that question? Clarity, with clarity. Okay. Then from there, all right, where can I meet people where they are? Create little steps, little ladders, little breadcrumbs, little experiences and tools, and just even like content, like even doing posts. Like most people think this, but actually it's this. Or articles. Most people were trained like this, but it's actually like this. And just leaving that out in the world where people can read it and find it and get value from it. The more clarity you have, the more willing you'll be to sit down and take the time to create these tools, to create these experiences, to create these articles, to create a knowledge bank. Then you use systems. Now I can do this every day. 45 minutes. Blah, 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 blah. I just made like 10, probably about 25 posts last night at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Because I have new tools now. And a couple of little prompts. And I was like, oh. And then, blah, 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 and then I'm in the game. Like, what are you talking about? What's now? I'm just unstoppable. Now, all I gotta do is go in there. You read it, you edit it make sure it sounds like you, and then boop, 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 boop. Because I already put all of my energy into it in the thing. But I have a prompt that says, okay, take this rant. How I'll be ranting, and then use this format here. And then spit it back out in the form of a post and do it like this and don't do that. Make sure it sounds like this, not like that, and give me 10 options to go. Whew, it did it. And I was like, oh. So then I got to set up the other tool that's just going to schedule it. It's literally just put it in the scheduler, and then it's like, I don't have to do nothing. It's already done. So now there's no excuse. There's no reason. You can't be like, oh, I don't have time to do content. These people work for you. The problem is not the workload. It is clarity. So if you have clarity about your worldview, you have clarity about your people and all of their problem language solution, what they're looking for and what they've tried before and their emotional state, cool. Now we need clarity on this content ecosystem that we're building, content and experience ecosystem that we're building for our people. Is the only way that somebody can experience you when you show up, like in person? Or are you able to start digitizing that? That's where we got to get clarity as well. Okay. So pains that we've solved in your own life, somebody else's life, frustrations that you've solved, problems you figured out that other people you see are still stuck in. Okay. That's number one. Another way to think about it, something that you've been paid for, something maybe it's easy for you, people have already paid you to help them do. Skills, service, knowledge, people have exchanged money for. That's important because we want to be sure that there's market demand, that they're willing to pay for this. It's not like, oh, I like that, but I'm not willing to pay you for it. Okay. So when I got in the water game, one of the reasons why, because my gift of communication. So other people had water test kits or whatever. They thought they didn't have my algorithm, but you could test water, but they couldn't get anybody to buy the test kits. So they thought it was like a flat market. Here I come and sales go crazy. We sold 800,000 of them things. And people were like, what's going on here? because I was speaking the language of the people. I wasn't like, check your pH levels and your TDS. What da 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 da. Once a year, everybody should, it's a health check, water quality maintenance. Like nobody cares. But when I speak, people care. And then they were doing it. They would do anything. They want to know what filter. They want to know the bottled water. They want a shower head. They want to know what the babies like. They want to know what's in the clothes. They wanted me to do a whole app or just like food dyes and the dyes in your clothes and stuff like this. They would have bought anything for me because I know how to speak the language of my audience. And the audience, whatever they're willing to pay for, that's your signal that you're looking for. It's not just, oh, we like this. Oh, this is cool. No, no, no. What are they paying you for? What are they actively trying to pay you for? And then I don't really talk about passion. It's not necessarily about your passion. It's about your clarity. If you have clarity, the rest will follow. Okay. So that's where your business lives. It's at the intersection of your worldview and everything that you have that you bring to the table. Clarity about these people that you're serving and everything they got going on. And a way to create an experience, to host a conversation and hold space for them to get to know what you got going on. And there to be a feedback loop, giving and receiving feedback loop. We need clarity in those 3 circles. And then I can get everybody in here to 10K or more. But I can't do it without the clarity. And I can't get you to the clarity if you still, are doing all the limiting beliefs and the actions that don't correspond with somebody who believes that this is possible. Okay. So let me pause. What y'all got? Comments, questions, concerns, feedback, and then we'll give you an exercise. Okay, here we go. We're going to get some clarity in case you don't have it, in case you're struggling, in case you lose your way, can't find it. All right. What pain have I overcome either in my life or, people that are close to me? Frustration that I've solved that other people are still getting stuck in. What was I struggling with 5 years ago, 10 years ago? But now I figured it out. If somebody were to ask me, what's a really hard thing that you know the answer to, or a hard thing that you've overcome or figured out, what would you say? Okay. Give me as many answers as you could think of. This is a clarity exercise. I want to make sure some of you guys already know you're aligned, your business is aligned, but some people, we haven't quite nailed it yet. Okay. We're just in the area, but I need you to, you ever been somewhere, you drive around, you're like, I know it's around here somewhere, but you don't know where. Like, we need the exact location. Okay. Next set of questions. What have people already paid you for, formally or informally? What do people come to you for advice on? What do people say that you're good at? What skill or knowledge do you have that other people don't? It comes easily to you. Everybody else thinks it's a mystery. If you had to make an extra $1,000 or $10,000 this week, what would you go and sell right quick? It's the one thing now, because I need you to get clear. It's not like, oh, I could do a variety of services and just come and talk to me and let me consult with you. Get clear. Here are the places of value. This is where I know I could do this and leverage my skills and do it like this, and they will get the most value. What is that? Because people have already paid you for that. See, can you answer that? And then, again, it's not passion, but I'm looking for a well. I need you to actually be good at solving the problem that you're trying to solve, to build a business on. Okay, because if you're not great at it, then it's hard to find that leverage point. Okay, so that means your knowledge is going to be deep. What topic can you talk about for hours without running out of, because you know your stuff? What problem is like really makes you like, you know what, we're not doing this anymore. Like, this is how I got into entrepreneurship teaching, because I'm like, I'm not just going to sit here and watch people just continue to get played and they just meatballs and alcohol and playing in our face like this. Like, we're not doing this anymore, right? What do you find yourself, talking, or even ranting about to friends and family? I don't believe in saying, oh, I would do this even if nobody paid me. But there is an elevation aspect to it. Like, not necessarily that it's a calling, but it's just work that, listen, I know that they can't pay me enough. Let's say it that way. You can't pay me enough for the value that I provide. This I know. Okay. Identify and get really clear on that, because that's that worldview again. Now, if all those 3 lists of questions, you should be seeing some overlap, and hopefully it's aligning with the business that you're building. Okay. And there's clarity in that. It's like, okay, this is what I do. This is who I serve. This is what's going on. And then when I ask you a question, it shouldn't be no, oh, I'm not sure. Oh, I need to go back and look at my notes. Oh, let me go back and get my pitch. It should be in you. You should be embodying this energy at this point. We got to get to the point where we can start brainstorming, and I can show you how to put in a content ecosystem together to serve people and digitize what you're doing one-on-one. So I think we're there now as a group. I think we're turning that corner, but it's really, really important. So a pain that you've solved, what you've been paid for, and you have a body of knowledge and a depth of knowledge and insight that can be monetized and stretched out over time. It's not like a little thing you learned on the internet. Okay. That's your business. The overlap of those things. Okay. So I need you, homework, and then we're done, to put that down into one sentence. Okay. And y'all, I've said this multiple times, but I'm not going to stop till we get it. I help this kind of person solve this kind of problem by whatever your process is, so they can have this desired outcome. What is that for you, for your business? Anybody want to try it?
Can you repeat it again, dog?
Yes, it's in the chat. I help this kind of person go from this problem, solve this problem by whatever your process is, so they can get this outcome. This is what I mean by clarity. We got to be able to answer this question, y'all. So I help visionary entrepreneurs make their bank accounts match their brilliance. I do that by helping them shift their identity and building a business that generates cash flow, so they can live the life they've always imagined without spinning their wheels. Pretty much.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Go for it.
Okay, I'm Makaya. I am the owner of Site Spark Studios, and I help nonprofits and business owners who are too busy and don't have the time to worry about their website updates or the crashes. So I come in to give them reliable web support that they need so they can focus on their mission and not their website issues.
Perfect. See how that's an opening to a conversation? That's an opening. It's going to be like, oh, tell me more about how you do that. Or it's going to be like, oh, you work with nonprofits? I mean, we're small. Could you work with it? Like, they're going to find themselves in what you said. And it's very clear. They know, oh, that might be for me. Oh, you need to talk to my cousin. You need to talk to my brother, because his website, it opens up more conversation. That's how you know you nailed it. So yeah, And then we're building from this place of clarity. So the next set of questions for you, Micaiah, is what you're building now, but it is, okay, what is the number one, the top 5, top 10 FAQs, the number one thing that all of them share in common, that they all have the same issue, that I could solve it with a video or a website, not website, well, I guess a website, landing page, PDF or something. I could make a tool that's going to help them with this one small little problem that they all have. You can go fix that without me. You don't call me for that. You got a tool over there for that.
Right. I never thought of it that way, honestly. But now my mind's spinning. I'm like, oh, I need to come up with a list of topics that I want to talk about.
Yes. Because then if we get that right, y'all, I'm giving y'all the whole game. Put your whole game for real. If we get that right, then it becomes, okay, based on, these 10 things that I've identified, I got some tools, I got some stuff. Okay. Now I need to bring people in to go and use the tool. So that's where your content strategy now comes from. So you could write articles about each of those 10 things. And it never ends. It never ends. It's like, ever struggle with this? I got a whole framework, y'all. I don't have time to teach that right now, but
I love that, because my next Substack post is going to be about a struggle. So maybe I'll make that a theme, a series or something.
Exactly. So now anybody, anywhere who's experiencing anything related to that can find it. Maybe they'll find it. The algorithm is looking for them because they're looking for you. And now we're almost at the point where the circle is unbroken, but the circuit is now complete. We're about to get some light. We're about to get some flow in this thing. So I'm excited for you guys. Anybody else want to try before we jump off? We got Sunny Smile. Oh, that's pretty. In the chat, she says, I help organizations make their office somewhere employees want to be by providing ongoing nervous system support delivered through chair massage, sound therapy, and aromatherapy. It's pretty clear to me. Make your office somewhere employees want to be. I mean, it's a whole mission statement. You see what I'm saying? It's elevated. Now I'm just like, oh. There's more. You see what I'm saying? There's motion there. Now there's a gap. It's like, oh, you're doing what now? So now I got to come over here and lean in and follow. Well, where can I find out more? And then have something for them. Well, typically most people, here's a guide. Most people want to da-da-da. Or I just wrote an article about such and such, let me send it to you. Oh yeah, I was just doing a speech about that. Let me send you do you know how many people got on the call with me talking about, oh, dog, I watched your TED Talk. I'm like, who has time for this? I don't have time to watch people's TED Talks, but these are like executives, and they'd be like, oh my God, we watched your TED Talk, and I share it with my family, like, da-da-da. So I don't have to do that. Then the sale is already done before we get on the phone. It's because my work is now speaking for me. Y'all got to create some work out here. So your brilliance can know by the time they get to you, it's time to write a check. All that other stuff they could do for free or do the little $97 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we're getting there. So if you get this level of clarity, there's 3. So if we get this level of clarity about what we're bringing, who we're meeting in the world, and what problem we're solving, boom. Now we can get some clarity around this content and experience ecosystem that is going to support this work and start to bring people to us in an automated fashion. Then we're going to perfect our offers and campaigns that are intentionally driving people to our offers. That's it. Then you be on track. Like I said, anything over $10,000, $20,000 a month, y'all, you're going to be fine. We'll be just fine. We're going to be fine. So let's keep building and working on that. Yeah. Any comments, questions, concerns, challenges, feedback, perspectives, personal story time before I go? Got a call. Okay. Well, y'all know what to do. See you on the next one, 2:00 tomorrow. Until then, wait. I was supposed to say something at the end. What was it? I don't know, but you know, you don't get what you want, you get who you are. That's basically what I'm saying. So if we're doing this work, shifting our identity so that we have capacity to hold these new levels of value, you guys. That's what we do here. Don't forget, tell a friend. Okay,